All right. Let's see. Okay, I think I got it. All right. So everybody's always asking me about the beef run. So I live in Chicago, live in a high rise, big city. This is big city living. If you want to save money on your beef, which I do every year, or I show you how we do this every year, is I buy beef 3 times a year. I usually buy it Easter, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. You can usually find these huge ribeye roasts on sale. These here, you can find these on sale at your Jewel or your Mariano's or whatever. You can always find one of these like on sale during the holidays for kind of cheap. So this one here, if you want to see it, this one here was $131. It was originally $300 right up there, but you get it instead of paying $15 a pound for it, you pay $6.99 a pound for this, and it's always pretty cool. So only thing you need to do, the way you need to break this down, which you can break it down very easily, is by cutting it yourself, and that's the best way to do it. So you need a couple of different things. You just need 3 things. You need a big knife. You need a boning knife, or my fillet or boning knife, and then a sharpener, right? And I always have something to scrape the bench with. And then this here is for trim. So I'll put like trim or beef or the fat so I can make the beef tallow from it in there. But we're just going to we'll sharpen these up. The steel sharpens it, but this is better. The steel is not really meant to sharpen your knife. It's just meant to flatten it out. So if you want to flatten this out, just want to go a couple different times to kind of sharpen this thing. Same with here. We'll flatten this out because we need to cut longer stuff or longer steaks. After you sharpen, you can move this out of your way. You can rinse off your knives, give them a little rinse and a wash so that you don't get any shavings in your meat. And then we start to cut. So we open this thing up. Let's get it open. So this thing here, this one is a U.S. choice ribeye roast, bone-in ribeye roast, and it is 18.81 pounds, and it only costs $130. But I'll show you how this makes so much sense to buy than the other stuff. And I already know it's going to be somebody in the comments talking about, well, it's not prime, it's not this. And I'm like, dude, you have no idea what the fuck you eating at restaurants. I've been in the industry for a long time. And most of y'all don't know what the hell y'all eating in the restaurant. Y'all just think it is. So many people and they, wow, it's crazy. So we want to do a couple different things. We want to be able to get some steaks out of this. We also want to be able to get some beef back ribs out of this too. And we want to make sure we get some nice ribeyes. So you're looking at the ends, you see it, really nice ribeye, not a lot of marble, but it does the trick. Especially on a grill, it's great. So what I normally do is first I'll wash my hands again and I'll put on some gloves because I don't want to be bothered with all the meat, fat, and blood, and all the coloring that they add to the meat. So I don't want all of that under my fingernails. So we put on some gloves. Always keep some gloves in your kitchen. It's always better to keep some gloves in your kitchen. Get a box of them off Amazon. They actually come out really good. I think you get like a box of 100 or 200 for like $12. Sometimes you can find them cheaper than that. But you cut it up. We're going to start by taking out these ribs, these beef back ribs. That's what we're going to start with. So we're going to take our boning knife and we're going to do a little slit right alongside the bone. And we're going to come all the way around. We're just going to give it, and we're going to try to curve it down with the bone because we don't want to lose all of that meat. We just want to slowly slice this down. Take your time and you're not in a rush and you don't want to mess up your big ass ribeye roast that you just found on sale at Jewel. So we're going to slowly start slicing, leaving a little bit of meat on these bones because I like to barbecue the beef rib and have some beef ribs. So sliced it up there. I'll turn this around and I'll go down again and just slice away, you know. Try not to tear up your steaks and just go down, slice again, keep going, just keep following it down. Follow that bone all the way around and take it out. Now you can cut this with the bone in. You could have bone in ribeyes if you want to. You can make bone in tomahawks. But if you just want more meat, like I like these, because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bones in here. But I'll give this a little bitty slice. And then we're going to just start taking these ribs off. Just going to take the beef ribs off the back. And I'm going to trim these up after I take this off, actually. A little bit more. And there you have it. There's your beef back ribs. So you can, I made pho with these. I actually threw these on the smoker outside for 12 hours on 250 and made some of the best beef ribs I ever had. So we're going to set that to the side right here. So we got beef back ribs. Now we're going to turn this over. And I know that a lot of people like this huge fat cap here on the steaks, but I don't. So what I like to do is take my knife and come across the bottom. All right, coming across the bottom just like that. And take off that. So if you look in here, there's this meat here, but mainly this is all fat. So this is all really big fat. And I'm gonna trim this down. While I'm doing that, let me trim this down because I want to make ground beef out of this. I want to get some beef tallow out of this. So I'm going to trim this meat off of the fat. All right. So we trim that off. That right there will be, this will be some ground beef. Now, mind you, I am not a butcher. I like saving money. So, and I also like to cook. And if I can save money and cook at the same time, it's amazing. So, we're going to take a couple, trim this out, kind of get a lot of this meat out of here, leave this fat to render down for tallow. So at the end here, there's a little bit more. So every little bit goes into your ground beef. This here is going to be your tallow. So that beef, it's all fat. That's all it is. And you want to cut these up so that when you cook them down or when you make the tallow, that you render a lot of that fat, because it has a really good high smoke point, and it's great for just having around the house to cook things with, different steaks and different meats. I also like to confit a lot of beef, so I'll cook it in some tallow. French fries and beef tallow. A lot of people charge a lot of money for that shit. You know, it's easy to get. I'm gonna trim that up. Add that to my pal. This here is gonna add up to my beef tallow pal. And you'll see it. I'll have way more beef fat than ground beef. This one here has a lot more meat on the end, so I want to make sure we separate this. Now, to all the butchers, I may be doing this wrong, but this is the way I do it at my house. And I haven't had any issues yet. So, a little bit more fat. That's going to go down for some burgers. Cut that off of there. Throw that back into the tallow pile. There we go. Cut that little meat out. More tallow. More beef fat. This here is going to be some ground beef here. It's a really nice piece of beef that was inside the fat. So we want to trim. I'm going to kind of trim this. Sometimes you can pull it off with your fingers, but I got on gloves. Sometimes it don't come off as easy. So we're going to trim that up. Trim all of this down. So I really want to make some burgers out of this, which I'll probably take one of these steaks and grind it up too. So there we go. A lot of that's going to be a part of my ground beef. Now, I like to clean these up while I have them out. So I'll clean up the steaks, which means I'll pull off some of that fat, pull off some of that silver skin and throw that silver skin away. So like there's a lot of silver skin here and here. So you just want to go slightly under the fat and slowly pull back to get some of that silver skin off. And just slowly guide your knife along the cut that you initially made. Don't go down too deep. Like you see, I'm not going too deep. Slowly, just guide your knife right across that fat. Pull that off. Set that to the side. Let's do this. Get some of this fat off of here too. I mean, I like having some fat on your steaks, but the silver skin and stuff is just tough, and it doesn't really do anything for your meat. So we're gonna go under this silver skin right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. We're gonna go under there and kind of pull. I'm going to find a spot where I can get my knife under and just go straight back. Now I did one of these in for Thanksgiving. They had them on sale for Thanksgiving. Silver screen, get this off of here. They had them on sale for $6.99 during Thanksgiving, and I did one. I just didn't film it. So now that we got that all out of the way, I know my board's moving, and I have this thing is just heavy. So the spinalis and all of that is still on the ribeyes. So what I want to do is cut some steaks out of this. So we're going to trim this. We're going to do about, what is that, one? That's about 1 1/4. Here. 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 Because I want to get a couple of tomahawks out of this, which I'm going to do 2 of the 3-inch. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 steaks. 6. You know what? I'm going to just do 7 out of this and then split that last one down. So, got that. Now, we just guide your knife down on your cut. Just guide it down on your cut. Straight across. Guide it down on your cut. Straight back. Try to make it an even slice. As I'm getting down to the bottom. Getting there. I'll trim that out with a sharp knife. And there you have it. So for that, this is about this maybe about 1 1/4 inches, but I'll actually tie these with some kitchen twine. And I'll make probably one of the best steaks you ever had with some kitchen twine. So I usually take a little bit of twine. If it's uneven or whatever, I'll take a little bit of twine and I don't know the technical term for it, but put the whole steak together, bring it around, put that under, go under, pull this up, tighten that up, go back around. And then I'll take my, I'll take the vacuum sealer over there. Yeah, I'll take the vacuum sealer and seal them up, freeze them up, and then you got individual steaks. So that's it. And when you get ready to cook these, like when you get ready to cook it, you can just, you can take the twine off or you can leave it on. So there's a steak. And that's how I do it. That's how I usually get the steaks. So people come over and be like, man, y'all always got beef. And I'm like, I know. Because you can get it on sale, and when you cook it, it comes out amazing, especially on a grill. So I'm gonna chop this up. Now, I know it's not the best, but it works out. Works out for what it is, you know. Steaks, and these cook up actually really well. And you can have steak. You can have steak and eggs. You can have whatever you want to make with steak. I did a stir fry with a steak yesterday, and it was great. So, cut that off. And like I said, I'm going to twine these up. So, because I took the bone out, I'll twine them up. But here you go. You got a 1 1/4 inch, or that's probably maybe 20 ounce or 18 ounce steak right there. In your house, you know. So I'm gonna keep cutting these, and I'll show you guys how I vacuum seal them, and that's it. I know. And yes, I'm butchering these, but it's just beef, and just want to make sure that you got you some steaks here. Boom, steak. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, let's see, almost. Might have to resharpen my knife here. What the fuck? So I also trim, like I'll trim some of the small stuff like these here. I'll trim this out. That'll go to my ground beef. And then you can see spinalis is still intact. The ribeye is in. So this is would be considered the ribeye cap. Now you could take this off and you could twine those, and then you can eat those by themselves. But I like to have a little bit of everything when it comes to steaks. So when I cook steaks in the house, so because everybody likes a different part. So I'll cut one more cut of this one. You always need a heavy duty knife and like a super sharp knife too. So I'll do those. And then I'm left with like this. So you could prime rib this. You could do whatever you want to do with this one, but I'm gonna actually cut this into two more steaks, so they'll be as thick as like a tomahawk. So this would be like a 20 to 30 ounce steak. I don't have my scale over here. Let's get it in between here. Get a little sharpness going. Get through that fat and that meat. All right. So, yeah. Usually I always have 2 of these that I leave or left over and trim that off. Add that to my Add that to my ground beef pile. And I'll trim these up a little bit so that they cook evenly. There we go. And then there you have it. So it's broken down. So here we go. It's broken down. You got two of these 2-inch, 2-inch or 2 1/4 inch, kind of like tomahawks. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ribeyes, about a pound of ground beef, and about maybe 3 delis or a deli and a half of beef tallow. And then don't forget about the beef ribs. And then I just take a vacuum sealer and I vacuum seal all the bags. I vacuum seal them up. So I can show you what they usually look like that. So you vacuum seal them. Once you vacuum seal them, you're done to go. You're good to go, because then you can just pull them out. You can date them, and you can pull them out when you're ready to eat. You can unthaw these, and then you don't have to buy beef. You really don't have to buy beef for a while if you look at these, because when you go to the store, these are going to be about $8.99 to $15.99 a pound for the 1 1/2 inch, and then for the tomahawks are going to be in between $15.99 to $35.99 a pound. And that's why I do what I do when it comes to this. Next time I'm gonna show y'all what I do with pork butts when they go on sale, because pork butts are the same. Pork butt, a whole pork butt will go on sale for $7 for a whole one. And then you can cut those up, and you can have your ground pork. You can have you can do everything with those. You can roast them down. You can put them in the oven, or put them in a crock pot and do tacos, and just let them slow roast. So this is what I'm about to do. I'm gonna be working on this for the next 35 minutes. Thank y'all for coming out and seeing my video. I just wanted to show y'all this is how you save some money. So this right here, I probably would have paid $300 for these. And if I bought them separately, I probably would have paid $500. And that's how you save some money. So I'm out. I wanted to show y'all a deuces moment. Just wanted to give y'all what I like to do. Peace.